I recently stayed at the Hyatt Regency Lost Pines Resort near Austin, Texas. Lost Pines is a family-friendly resort with a water park, and it got me thinking how it stacks up to another family-friendly Hyatt resort with a water park, the Hyatt Regency Coconut Point near Naples, Florida. For this comparison, I propose a scientifically accurate and absolutely perfectly objective rating system of 16 criteria. For each, I'll award a point to either the Lost Pines or Coconut Point. At the end, we'll see how they stack up. Number 1, price. Lost Pines is a Category 6 hotel with Hyatt, which means standard rooms are between 21,000 and 29,000 Hyatt points per night. I often found cash rates to be quite high here as well, often exceeding $600 a night. At Coconut Point, it's a Category 5 hotel, which means rooms are 17,000 to 23,000 Hyatt points per night. Room rates can also be quite high there, often $400 a night or more. Overall, the winner here is Coconut Point. It's usually cheaper on both cash and with points. Number 2, rooms. I'm only going to compare the suites here as that's the only experience I've had at Lost Pines. And overall, at Lost Pines, I'd consider them to be very nice. The Junior Suite, they're also known as the Lost Pines Suite, has one king bed in a completely separate room, a queen pull-out sofa, a usable table, and a nice balcony. Over at Coconut Point, the standard suite is incredible. It's absolutely huge. There's 2 bathrooms, 6 balconies, corner views, a king bed, pull-out sofa, and a nice usable dining table. Both are great, but the winner is Coconut Point. Keep in mind at Coconut Point, though, that the standard rooms, only about half of them have balconies, whereas at Lost Pines, it appears that pretty much every room has a balcony. Number 3, the pool, for younger kids. At Lost Pines, there's a huge zero-depth area. It doesn't get any deeper than 4 feet. Our kids had a great time with this. I also love that there's plenty of shade all around, which is very helpful, especially with younger kids if you want to keep them out of the sun. Relatively speaking, Coconut Point's zero-depth area is definitely a little bit smaller, there's not as much shade, and the shallow area isn't nearly as big as Lost Pines. The winner here is Lost Pines. Number 4, the pool for older kids or adults. Over at Lost Pines, there's no lap pool. There's only a small section that's adults only. At Coconut Point, there's this nice waterfall pool, as well as an adults-only lap pool. Overall, I'd say the winner is Coconut Point for this category. Number 5, the lazy river. Lost Pines has a huge 1,000-foot lazy river that meanders through the pool complex. Quite large, plenty of tubes are available. Coconut Point also has a lazy river. It's not as big, and overall, I'd say the winner here is Lost Pines. Number 6, the Waterslides. Lost Pines only has one water slide. It's medium-sized and good for younger kids. Coconut Point has a wide variety here. There's a toddler slide, one medium-sized slide, 2 huge ones, and also, my favorite, is the tube slide. Coconut Point wins this category by a mile. Number 7, outdoor activities. This is one area where Lost Pines really excels. There's bicycles, hiking, lots of free games, free s'mores, just lots of things to do outside. At Coconut Point, there's some long games, a rock climbing wall, limited off-site walking and biking opportunities, and also the s'mores cost money. The winner here, I would say, is Lost Pines. Number 8, the nearest beach. Okay, I know this is a little unfair. Austin, Texas is definitely very much landlocked, but it is a 2.5-hour drive to the nearest beach, whereas at Coconut Point, it's a 15-minute private boat ride to a private island beach, and it's all free and included. I would say the winner here is definitely Coconut Point. Number 9, ease of access. Lost Pines is in a very sort of secluded area, but there is very easy access from the Austin airport. It's about a 30-minute drive. However, a rental car is essentially required. Uber or taxi would be very difficult and would require being scheduled in advance. Coconut Point has very easy access from the RSW Fort Myers Airport. A rental car is definitely recommended as well, but you could probably make do with an Uber or taxi if necessary. Overall, I'd say the winner here is Coconut Point. Number 10, the staff. At Lost Pines, I had generally positive interactions, but there really wasn't any above and beyond service that I experienced. At Coconut Point, I would say there's also very generally positive interactions with the staff, including some times where they really did go above and beyond to make our stay more enjoyable. I'd say the edge here goes to Coconut Point. Number 11, food options on site. Lost Pines has a nice variety of food options on site, from a casual restaurant to a more formal one, lobby bar, cafe/market area. I feel like they put a decent amount of effort into their food. At Coconut Point, there's also a similar variety of on-site options, casual restaurant, more formal one, lobby bar, cafe, market, but in my experience the food is pretty standard and nothing that really sets it apart. Overall, a slight edge to Lost Pines. Number 12, food options off-site. At Lost Pines, you're very secluded. It's a long drive to just get on and off the main highway, and it takes a little while to get to the nearest town. At Coconut Point, it's also a bit secluded, but it's really only about a 10-minute drive to a huge variety of food options. The winner here is Coconut Point. Number 13, Globalist Perks, specifically the waived resort fees and free parking on point stays. I would consider this a tie. Both of them apply these benefits equally well and according to Hyatt's terms. No complaints. Number 14, Breakfast. At Lost Pines, they have a very excellent buffet. Lots of high-quality options, but you could also, if you wanted to, order on the menu as well. At Coconut Point, there's also a very good buffet, but I would consider it a bit more standard quality. I would say Lost Pines wins this category. Number 15, Late Checkout. Given that these are both resort properties, they aren't required to offer 4 p.m. checkout, and at Lost Pines, they only were able to give me 1 p.m. At Coconut Point, I've always been able to get 4 p.m. checkout without any issues. So, winner here, Coconut Point. Number 16, ease of booking with points. This isn't a very scientific study here, but in my experience, at just picking sort of random dates, Lost Pines has a huge variety of standard and suite rooms available to book with points. This includes the standard suite as well as the premium suites. At Coconut Point, many of these dates don't have availability for points, especially the standard suite. So overall, I'd say the winner here is Lost Pines. The final score is Lost Pines 7, Coconut Point 10. Clearly, this is a very subjective exercise, but overall, I'd say the winner is Coconut Point. It's cheaper on points, often cheaper with cash. The water park / pool, I'd say, is superior and certainly better for older kids and adults. The standard suite at Coconut Point is probably the best standard suite for any Hyatt in the continental US. However, for young kids, the water park at Lost Pines might be a little bit more fun. The zero depth section is huge and provides plenty of space to run, swim, and splash around. The hardest thing to compare here are the outdoor activities. With Lost Pines, you have hiking and biking trails, the Colorado River, but with Coconut Point, you have a private island beach. They're just two very different experiences, and it comes down to personal preferences here. In either case, they are both excellent resorts, and I'd happily return to either of them for a fun vacation with my family. If you want a more in-depth review of these properties, check out my full-length review videos. Links are in the description below. Thanks for watching.